Path of Night, War of Ages is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages podcast set in the world of darkness. We're all friends, we're here to have fun, but our story can include graphic violence, drug use, sexual content, and other mature themes. Content warnings can be found in the show notes. We've talked at our table about safety, comfort, and consent both as players and storytellers. We know what to expect, we're all excited to be here, and we want you to feel the same. So listener discretion is advised. And so continues the War of Ages.
Last time on War of Ages. The coterie spoke with the corrupted Fae and learned more about reasons behind the capture of the children. Upon their return, they disagreed about how to handle the situation. More Canaanites arrived to Jehuda Pass. Mykavikos brought gifts, Zelios the Nosferatu, Sir Lawrence, Generis, and 3 new gangrel. Diego disappeared into the forest. Roland and the rest of Zorion's men went after him. Roland, Dario, and Ambrose venture deeper into the woods. A bit deeper than they had intended. But Dario's good at what he does. And he doesn't just find human tracks, he finds blood. Blood on loose leaves, against bark. Even crossing a small stream, he picks up the trail again with very, very little difficulty. And not half an hour into your hunt, you come to a small clearing in this immensely thick, dark forest. And it is a strange thing to behold. Diego is there, knelt, weapon in hand, leaning over something. You can see the pensive expression he has, even though you can't see his face. The weight on his shoulders says it all. Something is wrong. And all around this clearing, as the light flickering of fireflies, and they seem to gather closer and closer to where he is. And that, Roland, is when you see it. Under the moonlight, in this opening, amidst mud and rock and roots, a wolf. It breathes quickly, panting, clearly very, very hurt. One of its legs is twisted, broken, and it growls, and it makes this menacing noise, attempting to keep Diego away from it with the last of its strength. And though he should clearly be wary of this thing, Diego rests his hand along its shoulder and does what he can to comfort this beast. I found it running from something, he says, knowing it's the group of you, having faith that it is in fact the group of you. I went to find out what was happening. Whatever it was has already come to pass. I'm sorry I rushed away.
It was folly to enter the woods alone, in defiance of what we swore to each other. Are you hurt?
I am well, friend. There are stories among the locals. They speak of wolves. Wolves who guard the land from invaders. Who fight evil spirits. I wonder if... It sounds stupid.
Say it.
I wonder if we and this wolf have come to accomplish the same thing. To restore whatever's being done here to nature.
Perhaps. You can see it. You probably know better than I how injured it might be. Do you think it wise to take off blood to heal its wounds? Or will that just do more damage to what we have done? What we are trying to accomplish together, if this is your belief? Roland, as he is saying this stuff, is walking forward quietly, and I'm trying to get a view of Diego's eyes to see if he's been taken with some sort of fucking madness, or whether he's really believes what he's saying. Roland is very willing to have faith about this, despite all the things that he protests quite often about the nature of nature and spirits. He's willing to take that on faith right now in this moment, but also Diego has a good head on his shoulders. He just ran off into the woods and chasing a wolf.
As you work your way around the clearing, you do catch this look at Diego. And you kind of realize why he has turned away and has not looked towards the group of you. And it's not because there are any signs of corruption or malice in his eyes. What you see instead are these tears on his face. And whatever moment he's been having while you guys were away, his look of empathy has all but overwhelmed him. In the world you come from, it is a bizarre thing to cry for the wolf. And whatever he's feeling, he doesn't much understand why, and you sense that he's looking away because he's ashamed of it.
Roland often struggles with practicality versus story, and so politely ignores the tears. How badly wounded will it take of my blood?
I don't know. And as he answers, Dario speaks up. Trouble!
Roland turns as soon as the word trouble is spoken, sword and shield in hand.
From the blood splatter that had been found, from rotted roots and putrid-smelling sediment that exists outside the circle, the world shakes at those points, as wriggling through are these bizarre reptilian parasitic creatures. They are big as a man. They have tendrils, teeth all over their body where they should not, and these monsters of writhing flesh and scales move to encircle the group. When they do, there's almost this squelching, yipping noise that comes from them. And Diego's eyes widen. These are what came for the wolf.
Is this the thing you saw yesterday?
There's a curt nod, and violence erupts. Back at the tower, the group of you are relaxing and interacting. Off in the distance, you can see Lucida sort of sitting at the edge of the cliff, looking out at the world. Down in the dugout space that makes the foundation of the tower, you can hear Anatol's digging. And he just looks around, and he digs for like a minute. You're sure he hasn't gotten very deep, but then he stops and he wanders somewhere else. And it's just this erratic distraction as the group of you sit.
Sadhbh is sitting against one of the walls, one of her knees drawn up. Sitting between her legs is her mortar and pestle and a partially filled bucket. Every couple minutes, from a basket, she sprinkles in some dried flowers and some of the charcoal she's gathered from the fireplaces. The flowers, for anyone looking closely enough, are dried calendula and chamomile. And she patiently and with know-how grinds them all until they mix together. And then when they've reached the right consistency, she dumps them into the bucket and begins the process anew.
Catrinel is making further preparations. Things to send over to ensure the comforts of, well, she doesn't know exactly which Canaanites are visiting, but the comforts of the Canaanites that she has promised to provide for. But in those spare moments when she's not tending to her activity, she seems to be looking at the dirt as well. I imagine Anatol is smeared with it. Some spare moment spent scuffing it with her shoe or examining it where it's smudged onto a carriage seems to be on her mind.
Looking over Saeed's shoulder. What are you making that?
Sorry, I should be used to that by now.
Be less fun if you are.
Then I'll try not to get used to it. Just something to sprinkle in the woods as we're going. Charcoal to try and absorb some of the poison that Catrinel smells or tastes. And calendula, it's a good cleansing herb. Starts to help bring down sickness in folk. And chamomile, it's also good for cleaning wounds. I don't necessarily think it'll do much, but sometimes it's just the intent that matters.
I see. You think we'll be okay going without all that ourselves?
Intent?
The herbs.
Well, I can give you some. I'm gonna bring it with us.
I just meant in general, going forward, for the people of this general valley and everything else like that.
I don't quite know what you mean. What am I going forward without?
I mean, are we gonna need all those herbs for our own people, if you're not sure what they're doing? Generally, just what I'm asking.
Oh, yes. No, this is not anything I can't spare.
Catrinel's path lands her near the two of you. She doesn't initially join, but she does look over your conversation. This eyebrow raised, checking in, I suppose.
Just feels like something I can do something about. I know herbs. I know helping folks through their sickness.
This seems very different. It's on a spiritual level.
Spiritual sickness isn't altogether apart from body sickness.
We could see if it helps the mortals. If this is an art that you learned for mortals, perhaps it would help them too.
Alexios notices the shadows kind of stretch and shrink on the wall in a weird, unnatural way.
I think we're about to have Ryan back here.
Indeed you are, Zorion says as he enters the space. Have you formulated a plan of action yet?
We're preparing the supplies now.
Is there any way I may be of assistance at the moment?
I can always find ways for people to help if they want to help.
He nods and places the box down on a table nearby. We have guests, and I believe it shall be a problem at some point in the future, based simply on the population at hand.
And who are they, then?
There are 7 Cainites below at the lodge in the village. Mykovikos leading them, but along with him, we have Zelios of Clan Nosferatu, 3 wayward Gangro here to assist us as another means of offer from Rado of Beastries. Their names are Violet, Honey, and Apricot. And finally, 2 very interesting figures who seem so very much familiar to me. A tall, darkly robed and armored knight by the name of Sir Lawrence of Clan Bruja.
Saeed turns to look at him in surprise.
And his companion of Clan Toreador, Generis. And he glances over at Saeed.
She, on hearing her sire's name, drops the pestle in her hand and looks wide-eyed, and you can kind of see the child in her.
I took the liberty of extending them your hospitality, Catrinel, and informed them that we expect their good behavior while in your lands. I am concerned that including our coterie, Lucita and Anatole, is a total of 14 Cainites who must be fed. I do not know if our 5 villages have the people to do so. Perhaps for a few nights, perhaps on a sparing diet.
I suppose that if you are to take the liberty of giving out my hospitality, I really ought to take the liberty of making you my seneschal, no?
I would be honored to accept the role.
Well, if you're going to be doing it. She's smiling, she's
It
not.
would make sense, I suppose.
Thank you for greeting them. And knowing you greeted them with grace. I have some ideas on how to get more mortals here. We'll have to put quite a bit of effort into it.
The sooner the better, I think.
We'll start simply. Hiring for the jobs that need doing. Hiring in excess, perhaps. Plenty here who need the work, who might jump at such an opportunity. And it does seem good that... I know Roland expected to see his sire. I don't know if you expected to see... And she just kind of lets the sentence trail off because of the situation.
It's not good practice for multiple of us to be in the same place. Makes it easy for us to be taken out. She looks visibly perturbed and almost disheartened.
Well then, I suppose we'll all have to communicate a bit better if you're at risk, additionally.
It's no more risk than usual.
You just said there's more.
I suppose I did.
They are taking the next few days to rest, and we expect audiences within the third night of their time here. Tonight they are road weary, but as soon as we can create those audiences, I think it would be appropriate, Catrinel.
I would like to do that as well.
They are aware that we are dealing with a concern of corruption in the lands. Zelios informed me that he has some opinions and thoughts about that. Perhaps we should invite him to speak with Saeed and Alexios to coordinate their plan.
We can talk with him on the way out, I guess. If he's got pertinent information, it seems like a good time to get it before, we go out into the woods and face a very mad king of the forest.
Would it be of any help to this plan, Saeed, to have counsel from Zelios, or do you think you have things in hand?
I don't know if it would help. I think his plan is more on a larger scale, and this is on a very small one. But I would say I would like to hear his ideas before I dismiss them. Did my sire want to see me tonight, or is he resting?
Your sire seemed excited to see you, but does not seem to be in a rush. I think it would be best to attend to the matters at hand and greet them after everyone has composed themselves and business has been attended tonight.
And certainly it wouldn't be fair not to get Roland back for his sire first.
That's true.
I'm sure he's having a grand old time.
Roland yells, "Do not let them touch it!" and springs into action.
Alright, guys, so I need initiative roll.
Diego is at a 13.
As is Ambrose.
It's never mattered before because I didn't have it, but does my swift spec in dexterity apply?
Sure, yeah. Fucking power gamer.
I'll roll that 10 again then. Roland is going on a 21.
16.
The Kupalas will be going on 9. There are 4 of them. They will automatically take +1 action per round.
Okay. Do I get a sense of that they're like moving fast?
These things are fast.
Roland will put his shield up and step forward. Are they all coming from one direction, or are they coming from all sides?
They are coming from all sides.
Instead of walking to meet one, Roland will draw shield and sword and step back towards where, like, the line of the 3 men are. The mission here seems to be protect the wolf, protect the other 3, and he wasn't lying. These guys are used to fighting one another. He does not want to get in the way. I am going to split my action, and I will spend 1 point of blood for celerity for the round. I don't know how long this is going to be, so I don't want to spend a shit ton of blood in case it's not just these 4. So I'm going to spend 1 point other celerity for the round. I'm going to break into 6 actions. I'm going to keep 3 of them for attacks and 3 of them to defend my fellow knights.
Dario.
Yeah, so Dario is absolutely going to draw his sword and attack the closest one.
The only thing that is strange here His damage rolls against them are at difficulty 7.
I'm going to split the action for a dodge, which he inevitably thinks they're going to attack him afterwards. So that's -1 die, +1 difficulty for each one? Yep.
Correct. And then your second action will be -2 dice, +2 difficulty.
Got it. Ooh, it was a terrible roll.
He got too eager.
Yeah, his highest number was a 4.
The tentacled thing weaves out of the way.
Diego, moving in tandem practice, sword brothers and all, is basically moving parallel. He's also keeping his wits about him to be able to dodge. I guess I shouldn't have repeated that, because it is very similar. I did have a success, but it was cancelled out by a 1.
The Kupala will evade Diego as well. Ambrose.
So first things first, Ambrose is going to spend 1 blood to bring his stamina up by 1. And then he is going to... Who's the furthest one out in front?
Diego.
Then he will move to defend Diego.
Okay. Ambrose ready to defend, and the Kupalas begin to attack.
As one gets close, Roland brings his sword down.
Okay.
Nothing special about this strike. I'm just cutting one down. 8 successes.
Okay, 7 will carry over into damage.
I will spend a blood for potence. And as of today, I have potence 5.
Okay. You are at difficulty 7 for your damage roll.
Does my strength spec apply? Or my melee spec in swords?
Yeah, you are holding a sword.
11 lethal damage.
It will soak 3 levels of damage and take 8. When you crash into it with your sword, it is bisected and fountains of this black ichor spray across the open field. It begins to stop moving, and it simply melts into this pool of stinking, vile, what looks like some sort of like oil, some greasy liquid. And one rushes right where the one before it was vanquished. Rob, is going to be 1 attack on you, 1 attack on Diego, 1 attack on Ambrose.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
I am wielding a knight's sword and heater shield. Are they? Like, what are they wielding?
So, because of the type of entity that they are armed with long-reaching tentacles, but the shield penalties do still apply to them in combat.
Okay, so we are all... Any of us who is wielding shield, then, is at difficulty 7. Still difficulty 8, actually, because knight swords with a cross hilt also give you a +1. So they are difficulty 8 to hit us, but they don't lose dice.
Rob, there are 2 successes to hit you.
Okay. I am using one of my defenses. No, I saved them to defend these guys. I think I'm just going to get hit.
The damage is aggravated.
Wish I had known that before, but that I didn't, so that makes sense. I still got my knight's armor, though, right?
You
do. Do I still get my toughness spec, even if I'm... I get my normal stuff, even... Okay. Soaking on 5s, and with my toughness spec, I have 4 successes. Like 4 soak.
Okay. It dealt 2 levels of aggravated damage. You will absorb the brunt of the attack. Next comes an attack on Diego.
Spending a willpower for an automatic success.
Difficulty is, I believe you did split?
No.
No, then just stiff 6.
Okay. 4 successes.
They have 2 to hit. Ambrose shoulders in and blocks the incoming blow meant for Diego. Now an attack on Ambrose.
That helped.
It has 4 successes to hit Ambrose.
I am using a parry maneuver off of my celerity. It was a shit roll. I only got 4 successes.
They got 4 successes. You parried the attack.
Great. Do they technically count as unarmed attacks that they're doing against us?
Because of the type of entity they are?
No. Okay, fair enough. Just didn't know if I got to free cut one of the tentacles off.
These things are meant to fight werewolves.
Roland steps in front as Ambrose does, and as a tentacle tries to like go past where he's protecting Diego, Roland slaps the sword out and parries it away.
We move to additional actions. Roland, do you have an additional attack?
I do. I am slightly lower on dice now, thanks to celerity. 5 successes. Actually, 4 successes, because I'll take that 6 away, because I'm at +1 difficulty. I'm doing the riposte maneuver against the one I just parried.
Sweet.
I do extra damage, and it is at penalty to try and evade. Not that I think they're using defensive actions, but...
Now it's going to eat it. Go. You are at difficulty 7 for your damage roll.
Yep. That is 9 lethal on a riposte.
Has 2 successes. Roland, you will vanquish a second, as it again collapses to the ground and more of this vile ichor spreads. You yourself are doused with this black fluid. There are 2 attacks. Roland, one will be focused on you. The second will be focused on Diego.
I have reserved a defense for me and a defense for Diego.
2 successes to strike Roland.
Parried.
Diego, there are 2 successes coming at you for an attack as well.
I believe I could dodge because I had that saved.
Yeah, take your dodge. It's the last attack of the round, and if it doesn't, if it connects anyways, Roland can roll his parry.
Got it. With it being a smaller amount of dice, am I able to spend a willpower?
Yes, you are.
Then I shall do so. Difficulty 8, you said?
Yes.
2 successes.
Okay. You will evade the attack. Roland, you have one more attack. Take it.
One more attack.
And that will end the round. And we'll begin again with Roland.
1 cancel the 10 out. That sucks. But that is 3 successes on the attack. 9 more damage.
As no successes to soak, you will destroy a third coupon. And we begin round 2.
It sure seems as though we should get back to the forest.
You got a story going on there? You don't seem too happy to see your sire.
My sire is a very kind man. He's very patient. But he expects me to have my temper under control by now.
Well, then he'd have to be patient.
I spoke nothing but glowingly of both your conduct and Roland's to your sires.
I appreciate what you tried to do, Zorion.
It was the truth. There had been momentarily bits of friction between all of us, but...
Saeed starts tearing up. I'm a disappointment to him, is what it comes down to. He has another child that he compared me to a lot.
Zorion kind of smiles widely at you. You are not the only person to be a disappointment to their parents.
I suppose I'm not.
Seems like you might be better off without them then. They can't seem to appreciate it.
They're still my sire.
Do you even want to meet with him?
I'm not so far out of my accounting that I can't. And there's not so many of us that I can't still learn from him about our people and our history. Be burning down a library if I didn't.
For that matter, de Iruña means of the city. The great city, Pamplona. I did not inherit any name from my father. I was given Zorion by my mother. A bastard always stays in the shadows.
Well, this bastard stayed in the woods. I was one too, long before my embrace.
This does not mean that I have a bad relationship with my father, or his wife, or my mother. They're just complicated. You do not have to inherit a chip on your shoulder about these things. It only precludes you from growing into what you can be.
I likely am a disappointment to my mother. That's a good thing. Sometimes it is.
Relationships are always difficult, especially with the people that you are most close to. It takes time to find its legs.
I just feel like he sent me with Roland to do a job and I haven't done it yet and he's going to be disappointed in me. That's all.
It sounded like also to keep danger to be less. You said being together is more problematic.
It is.
Don't focus on the bad part, then.
And what's the job that you're meant to do with Roland, then?
Control my anger.
You have time.
Your sire did not foresee you encountering me. Now, how is this plan going?
Save does smile at that. Viantu will find his way back to Roland, no matter where he is, so it doesn't matter if the forest shifts around us or not. Just keep eyes on Viantu.
And the preparations for healing this Fae.
What I'll need is someone to grab hold of him, because I can't guarantee to do it myself.
So we are forcefully healing them?
In a word, yes. I'll offer first. I'll ask if he wants me to see if I can heal the sickness from his body. But if I do that, then you're not going to have the element of surprise.
That is fine. I doubt we will be able to gain it in this forest regardless.
Now, we're talking about it here, so we got the best chance of surprise.
Have you thought about how you are going to phrase making this offer?
You're sick, do you want to be made well? And perhaps the land along with it.
Am I misremembering the Fae, or did they not believe that they were sick?
He did not believe he was sick or didn't want to hear about it.
Well, then maybe we don't give him the chance. Sometimes people are too sick to take their own.
It would work well if our knightly companions could use their fervor against this thing. Telling them to wait will only make them anxious. Perhaps we inform them that you have the solution to heal or to deal with the Fae. That their steel and iron will not work on this particular Fae. The truth of that matters not. We tell them that you have the solution to deal with it, and that they must subdue the Fae.
That could work. If it would be helpful so that we don't have to speak a word about it in the forest. I can speak in people's minds.
A simpler solution is to write a letter that they can read. He gives you kind of a shitty glare, and then kind of closes his eyes, bows his head.
Easier, not simpler.
Then it sounds like you should get to writing some letter.
Fair enough.
And then she'll have her new? Have you had that ability long?
Yes.
So let us make sure we understand the plan so that I can communicate it effectively. You need them to subdue the Fae.
Without the use of the iron. That will agitate him.
Very well. Once this ritual has been completed, how would you like us to see if it will deal with us or not? If the ritual does not work, what then? This is simply me asking as a if-then.
You're not going to want to hear this. We leave. And then we come back a third time.
A third time?
3 is it's a special number. Sometimes it takes 3 tries.
Very well.
And it either forces his hand or it forces ours.
I can see that it may be the best course of action. Let us consider heaven and earth for just a moment. Heaven says that this is the course of action that will work. Earth is the situation in front of us. There are 3 knights and a Bruja that will refuse to leave. Is there a way that we can, if we come to this pass, that we can convince them without argument, bloodshed, or confusion to continue with this plan?
How'd you get Roland to take his helmet off?
Through the use of my domination.
Your lads will follow your orders no matter what.
They will?
Roland will do what it takes to protect me.
If I dominate him to leave his quest behind, even if for the right reasons, this will do immense damage to our relationship.
He is not leaving the quest behind. We are merely taking another step in it.
I appreciate the way you see that. I ask you to consider how he will. We both know Roland and the way he reacts.
Especially because if we do leave, there's no guarantee that something doesn't happen to the children.
We cannot leave without the children. I can observe on a spiritual level.
You can?
I can.
Alright.
If I see the corruption retake its hold, then we will have to strike. I do not know how to cleanse the land if it isn't cleansed at the same time as the king of the forest.
My hope. Here it is. I know it's a hope. My hope is that when he's reasonable, once he's cured, if he can be cured, then he might be willing to... What's the word I'm looking for when you leave something valuable behind in exchange for what they've got?
A hostage?
Ransom?
Ransom is closer than hostage. If we leave something behind, valuable, in exchange for the children.
Do you have any suggestion of something that it might value?
Something that would keep the forest safe. Something that would make the forest strong again without empowering Kupala.
If it becomes reasonable, it may understand its corruption. We may offer to keep the corruption at bay, and that we can work together as separate people to further improve the forests and keep him whole.
This is a terrible idea for probably more reasons than I understand, but if I can heal him, I'm willing to give him some of my blood to try and heal his sacred space. I don't know if I could. I can only heal things that got a soul.
Do you know the effects that will have?
I don't.
Because this is a shot in the dark, I think it is folly. I would not recommend this course of action.
Probably is, so I'm letting whimsy get ahead of good sense.
What I can say, the only thing that we can leave behind of value is a promise. It seems very hesitant to deal in promises with our kind. But something we can promise is that we now have at our behest Zelios, a master of sacred geometry and learned scholar of ley lines. This individual could perhaps construct a means by protecting these woods.
Or the sacred place itself.
That is perhaps a bargaining chip.
The other thing he saw value in was Viantu himself.
I do not believe that we can offer that.
I don't think we could. But I think there's a way that if his... perhaps in exchange for keeping the forest safe, we allow Viantu, with or without Roland, to patrol the forest to keep people out of the forest, to ensure people fear the forest again.
Part of the forest.
I do not think that the problem is people not fearing the forest.
That was specifically something he wanted.
I think that dealings with him in this mind and using it as a preset is not going to work. We should go in with a very flexible idea. And
I agree.
I think we've pretty much nailed that.
Flexible ideas are fine, but we need to agree that there's an end point to negotiations.
I will strike if I think there is no other way.
I want to be clear. There's a difference between a flexible plan and a plan with no concrete backing. You should always remain flexible, but if we do not create concrete elements going in to negotiate with, it will fall apart, and we will not recover.
If I can't heal him, all of it goes to shite.
Well, if you cannot heal him, I propose that we take the children regardless. And I am willing to back you on trying it a second and third time. I am willing to damage the relationship I have with Roland, which is already shaky, in order to accomplish this. But I will not do it unless we are leaving with the children, as Alexios has said.
We're taking the children.
There was a woman with them, too.
Yes.
We will take them all. If the healing works, what is our next step?
Renegotiation. We start again with him in his right mind.
Very well. Remember that the best bargaining chip we have is to build layers of protection for his sacred space through Zelios, and you may name him our vassal for the time being. He is. If these negotiations fall apart, then we are removing the children and the woman. And shall we try this a second and third time?
As long as he's not corrupted, I have no issue with that.
I think we should. I think the third time should be the last time. If this doesn't work.
Is this the second time we are attempting?
Yes.
Very well. And the third time will have to be tomorrow night.
Yes.
That gives us a working time frame. It does not put off our guests more than the 3 nights they have asked of us. This is a loose plan. We have concrete backing. I approve of this. Let me know what else you need of me. I'll prepare us to travel.
I've been thinking on how to explain why it matters when the magic dies from this world. It always matters when great groups of things die off. There's so much in this world connected to magic. Things I can't explain, but I know. Things that are connected to us, that are connected to the Lord of the Forest, that are connected to the lupines, that are connected to things that may not come to be if the magic dies, for good, bad, or indifferent. But an end is an end, and I prefer not to be the reason that anything I know or love becomes an endling. If the magic in this world is to die, I don't want it to be at my hands.
It is quite the insight. I will think on these words you have spoken. Perhaps we may talk more of what that means.
Perhaps when this is all over, then.
Tonight has seen enough.
Agreed.
Only one remains. Dario seems to like what he's saying out of Roland and calls out to the Lord of the Woods. Have you no more for us? We remain unbowed. Ambrose will lean over and fix him a stare. Dario seems deeply familiar with the stare. Well, perhaps we have had enough. For now.
Because I don't know if this motherfucker has just summoned a bunch more of these, I'm going to be a little conservative with blood. And I will split 2 ways, just in case. I will not spend for celerity, because I don't know how long we're going to be here. And I'm going to go for a great blow maneuver and just as hard as I can bring my sword down.
Mechanically, how does that work?
It's one of the maneuvers you can do. It's a little bit harder, and you do more damage. Actually, I don't split my action, because with Great Blow maneuvers, you're not allowed to take defensive actions. I'm just like, fuck this, and we're ending it. I'm at +1 difficulty, so diff 7. 6 successes.
5 will carry over.
That's what happens when I don't split and lose dice. I'm not spending for potence, so I just get to use those dice as strength.
Yep.
8 damage.
The last of the group is destroyed. Roland, it's hard to see. There's so much of this black ichor on you. I need you to make a willpower roll, difficulty 7.
Am I allowed to spend a willpower against this? Or no?
Yes.
This seems like the time. 2 successes.
With 2 successes, you resist the dark urge. You fall to your knees fighting it, but manage to hold on as those around you for moments reveal themselves to be Kupala. When you close your eyes and shake your head, the illusion fades, and you become certain that your comrades are in fact your comrades and you should not destroy them. All around in this clearing, the black blood that has soaked it seems to have made the land sick. All of the bright fireflies that danced around Diego earlier lie on the ground dead. Ambrose rests a hand on your shoulder. Ease now. You did well. Very well.
To take more than a dark spirit to turn me against my allies. Roland sort of stumbles to his feet and shakes himself off, trying to get some of the shit off of himself and his armor.
I'm glad to hear it, Dario says. I'll admit, I wasn't always sure.
I suppose I deserve that.
That's alright. We've all got a dark side. Dario cracks a smirk as he says it, kind of wiping some of this black viscous liquid from his face.
Is anyone else hurt?
Diego kneels beside the wolf. Easy now, you're safe. And the wolf vanishes. It is there one moment and simply gone the next.
Roland is not the member of this coterie, or even the traveling companion he's had for years, who is used to this kind of thing, and just kind of stares at the spot where the wolf vanished from for long, quiet moments.
Ambrose watches the spot, kind of trying to rationalize, and says to you, if we remain in this place much longer, we will go mad. Hopefully our allies are ready.
Roland nods, looks at him, cleans his blade off on his tunic, and then puts it back in its scabbard. Let us return to camp then, the 4 of us,
Yes.
so that we might hopefully speed their arrival.
Alexios has wandered off and found one of the taller trees and is sitting in a large branch overlooking the mountains in the valley.
Sadhbh also takes the time to just be outside. She doesn't want to be alone. Alexios, are you out here?
Well, I'm not particularly hiding right now, but,
Did you fly to get up there?
no, I just climbed.
Is it alright if I come up and join you?
I guess.
She leaves her staff, and she begins the struggle of climbing into the tree. She doesn't use her damaged legs so much, mostly just climbs using her arms and her good leg.
During her climb up, he just hooks his legs and drapes off it upside down, watching you.
I used to do this better.
You'll get there. Keep trying. He'll offer to pull you up there once you get close enough that he can reach you with his arms.
She will accept.
Must be pretty important to you to climb all the way up here.
It's not important, but I've also just... The trees were also family back home, and I miss them.
Yeah.
I miss the climb. It feels nice to do it again.
It's a good sky. It's pretty
is.
nice. I mean, minus whatever's happening with this demon.
Kapala, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I lack a better word for him, so. There are beings that defy labels.
She kind of gives a quick look around to make sure that, like, there's not many other even creatures around, because she knows the forests have eyes. She knows many clans have animal spies. Do you ever get worried you're going to lose yourself?
What makes you think I haven't already?
So Alexios isn't the first time you've had to slip into a new person.
It is the first time I've taken an identity for a job. For a reasonable cause. But that's assuming that Amun is also not another person.
Is he?
In some senses, yes.
Who was there first?
The person that I originally was.
Do you remember much about that person?
Everything. It's not like I'm inhabiting a different body. It's just that that man died. He was saved by Anubis and my sire, Pananub. But for all intents and purposes, he died in the Sahara Desert.
What did he do before?
He was a farmer. Lived in the valley. There with his whole family, the extended family. Wife, child.
Is that how I need to think of myself? Do I need to think that the little girl that I was died in the back of that wagon with the rest of the ghouls in order to be the person that I am now?
I would probably say no. To explain a little bit, it wasn't a choice. And I am not quite prepared to go into why, but he was irreparably harmed, destroyed, in such a way that the only thing that brought me back was the beast.
Was it corruption?
It was a corruption. A foul one.
What is corruption for you?
There are many things that are meant to die, and many things that kill. I have no issues with these. It is those that rot from the inside. They don't conceptually difficult, but there is an unnatural rot, a pressure from the outside to destroy.
My family killed a lot of people because things were broken and they needed blood. And I don't know if they were good people. I know they were doing... I know they loved me. And I know they kept me safe. And I know they wouldn't let me watch what they did. with the men that they took.
They made some more interesting choices with you instead.
They wanted me to be as good as I could be. My aunties. Their numbers are dwindling, and they grow weaker with the embrace. So, to make sure that those they embrace have the best chance at survival, they ghoul children. They teach them as long as they can. And when they think that they're ready, they'll let them come to their natural age or to an appropriate age, and then embrace.
Well, I've not had many conversations with them, but this seems wrong to me. But I will not question it, for I have not been there. It would not be my choice.
I never got the embrace from them.
My understanding of the Salubri did seem to indicate that.
You may have gathered this. I was not raised among Salubri.
Indeed. This seems rare, more localized.
I don't know that they exist outside of Ireland.
Yeah.
After the wicked man came, and most of the ghouls had died, it was just me and the man that I called my father left. And he told me that I wasn't gonna die like the rest of them. And I didn't know how long I was gonna be in that wagon with what was left of him. And he told me that all he had ever wanted for me was to survive.
Well, you have survived, but
I don't know what to do after.
it's really not enough. Survival is... Some people believe survival is enough. I do not believe so.
You remind me of him in some ways. I think he was from a similar part of the world.
So, what are you looking for? With a question like, should you let yourself die like that to be someone else? What are you looking for? What do you want?
What I want is some measure of peace. And I can't find it. And I think I'm gonna keep being angry, and the mane is gonna keep sitting on my shoulder until I can find a way to shake her.
The world will never let you have peace. Especially this world. Peace comes from the inside. It'll take time, but you will find ways to do that. But you will need to let some things go. And these are things that aren't helping you.
Like what?
Approaching everyone as an enemy. Waiting for the next shoe to drop. And I understand that you've been on the road. It's basically been survival for a while. And you struggle against Roland because you don't want just survival.
But it's also the last thing my father wanted for me.
Well, you can do more than just survive. But you can find ways to give yourself more control. Which will add to peace.
How do you control your temper?
I don't find myself in need too much. That's not true.
When you were 19 and an idiot.
It was a much smaller world for me then. I mean, at the time, I had my work, my life, and my stupid things that I did.
Oh, what stupid things?
Well, you know, you go out, you drink with the older men, you listen to their terrible stories, you stay up way too late and then have to work the next day, regardless of what happens. And it teaches you things, like don't be an idiot, you know? And then when you get married, you have a second person to help remind you not to be an idiot. It's a two-person job. Sometimes, you know, it goes the other way.
Then I imagine having a child reinforces that when you're an idiot.
No, it just tells you that you're an idiot way more than you originally thought. Children are humbling, let me tell you.
Do you have a son or a daughter? If you want to talk about it.
There is a deep well of sadness that kind of comes out from him and then kind of retracts. Like, he just shakes his head. It's like, it is not time yet. I have not come to terms with that.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. We all carry scars in different ways.
Waging wars with the past and all.
But No, there are things that drive my anger. And it's the corruption. It is the Setites. And I will find them, and I will kill them. Can I control it? If I can find ways to do more damage to them, I can keep myself from killing them. But me and the beast are aligned on this, and this keeps everything together. I am not struggling.
I think I would have been better as a Brujah.
It is some days interesting to see, but maybe it would have been much worse as a Brujah.
I know there's a lesson to be learned. Say what you will about the beast, but so much more at peace with hurting folks before I was embraced.
Maybe, but maybe it was the specific folks being hurt. That's a difference. You are trying to think the best of some of the people that we are dealing with. Sometimes they are not good. But there is not always a need to kill everything either. Many infiltrations are in fact much better if you don't, leave a whole thing of bodies behind. The point is, everyone gets hurt and learns lessons from it. And it might give you more of a sense of control of your immediate surroundings. You can take control of your actions. You can influence what is happening around you in more than one ways. And you try with your words, but I can also see the frustration causes that to go awry sometimes.
Do you think Zorion is a bad person?
Not yet.
Do you think he's using us?
No. He understands loyalty. That is actually his biggest coin in trade. Even if they weren't bloodbound to him, his men would still follow him. He understands what it is to be a good leader.
Do you want to be a leader?
Not particularly, but leadership isn't always a thing you get a choice about. My job is much harder to do if I'm always talking with people about all of their problems. My job is to find out what is happening behind doors.
See, that's another source of frustration for me, is that my job is to help, is to do exactly that, is to talk with people and to help them and to work them through their problems. And if I do that, I'm painting a giant target on myself. So it's sort of like, I don't know, you ever been like really thirsty and not had a drop of water anywhere?
And you're asking if vampires ever felt thirsty? And I did say I died in the desert, so... You must find ways, I think, to do it in small ways. You've got to build up to it. You really want to, let go. But there are, unfortunately, forces now that make this difficult. But you can make it the goal to get there. Things don't have to happen overnight. And with all this power, it doesn't mean that it is best to be used fully out the gate. I'm here now. I could be out there hunting Setites, but it ultimately won't reach the goal I want by doing that. Build allies. Make yourself unassailable. And you can do whatever you want. And you can do it not necessarily by trampling everyone underfoot. It's a harder road. It will always be the harder road.
Higher road usually is.
I just mean that doing kindness is always harder than ending a threat.
I don't like suffering.
Suffering is necessary. Undue suffering, no. But suffering is required for growth. And there are many things that can come from people that suffer. But you wish to alleviate a lot more than just the undue part. It hurts. I get it.
Just some of it. Doesn't have to be all of it.
Little by little. You must first find your peace, and then you may be able to help others with theirs. You must understand yourself.
The part where I get frustrated is that apparently I'm not saying my words right. People seem to be thinking that I'm I mean a great deal more with what I say than I actually do. Like, when you say just now that I want to alleviate all suffering, I don't. I know the value of letting a butterfly fight its way out of a cocoon.
I've been privy to some of your other conversations. This is where I draw this from. Not your misunderstanding of nature. I think, logically, you understand this. But there is some emotional part beyond that. And I think that for many years, you have not seen much of the outside world. You've been, in the weirdest way, both sheltered and prone to extreme violence.
Exposed to the very worst parts of the world.
The world is incomprehensibly big, and there is so much out there. And I thought I knew everything a man needed to know. It's grains of sand to what is actually in the world. There is so much more that I don't know at any given time. You can't know everything. That's why we have other people.
Will you walk with me among other people?
Not always as Alexios.
Doesn't have to be.
I will help you, if that is what you're looking for.
Well, I think I love Roland. And his job is to ensure that no harm comes to me. And that means that we look for harm everywhere. And I think it would be helpful if we learned to... if I learned to not look for that first. Not see the wicked man. The wicked men.
Well, my understanding is Roland knows more than just hitting things with sticks, even if that is his specialty. You could always learn some of those, too. If you want to know him, you must find common ground. And I think currently it is much more of a survival thing right now. Never mind his own demons. The struggles he has, and some of what I've caught here and there, is he has his own things that he must first figure out.
No, I know, I'm just... This is gonna sound real dramatic, but I'm his burden. I'm his ward. His job.
And at this point in time, also kind of his purpose.
She kind of cocks her head at that idea.
For 2 years, that's been his purpose, and you've made this purpose probably harder, which he wasn't probably expecting.
I do that.
But clearly he's had many of his own struggles on top of it. I don't necessarily think it's been helpful for either of you in some ways, but it doesn't mean it has to stay that way, and now we have this, which will not be a peaceful place, but it will have times when it is peaceful.
I wasn't expecting you to be so good to talk to, Alexios.
I spent a lot of time watching people, and I've been one or two of them. I am also embracing the life that I have now been given.
So even in struggle, you can choose to feel joy. I hadn't thought of that before.
There is definitely irritations throughout all of life, but as we said before, suffering helps you grow. And we're here to make sure Zorion really grows. He needs a reminding occasionally.
Well, I'll help as best I can. I don't know that it's been terribly helpful so far.
There's different ways to go about it. I wouldn't necessarily follow the path of Catrinel too much, but I'm just saying that he is trying, and occasionally his priorities are a little weird, but I understand what he's trying to do. And I understand where you guys come to cross purposes sometimes. I understand that you want this Lord to live, and that magic may continue, as long as it may. But we also cannot keep him here if he is corrupted beyond redemption. I'll do my best to see what I can before we get to that point. But I don't know if it'll work. But I'd rather try.
The kind thing is the hard thing sometimes, right?
Correct. That's why I agreed to this in the first place. Again, much easier just to kill him when he wasn't paying attention.
Right. I should probably go inside and start pulling twigs out my hair.
And you got some herbs and such together, right?
I did want to do a harvest before we went.
Well, you want to hand down this time?
Yes, please. Path of Night, War of Ages is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages podcast set in the world of darkness. Alexios is played by Tim Davis. Catrinel is played by Rebecca Steigelfest. Roland Roncevaux is played by Rob Muirhead. Sadhbh is played by Erika Webb. Zorion de Iruña is played by Garrett Gabbey. Your storyteller is Lex Lopez. The music used in this episode was Don't Look Back by DaniHaDani and Maya Belsitzman. Path of Night uses the 20th anniversary edition of Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages with a few limited house rules. Vampire the Masquerade and the World of Darkness are owned by White Wolf and Paradox Interactive. Be sure to subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you find your podcast. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/@pathofnight. You can help support the show at ko-fi.com/pathofnight. Look for us on social media at Path of Night Podcast, or email us at pathofnightpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time, K-Knights.
Yeah. Oh yeah! Excuse me. Let me try that again.
No, keep it.
Okay. I mean, you're editing it, so fuck. I don't have a lot of choice.
Oh, fuck.
Look, it's the 2000s.
Alexios.
Dad Rock's coming back.
As played by Fred Durst.